Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Young Sheldon. This is the 17th episode of the 4th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. So episode 16, I thought was interesting because, you know, Sheldon, he was at his university. He's obviously the child prodigy. He gets all the plaudits. Everybody loves him. You know, school grants are going there. And we've seen it before where they've tried to kind of like waltz him into like a dinner to impress the, you know, the school donators, and you know, they wanted to use Sheldon to recruit another child prodigy. Who's that? Paige. Yes, you know, Sheldon's like frenemy. I don't even know. Like, it's interesting. In this episode, he had a conversation with Missy, who was basically saying that she thinks that he's actually got a crush on Paige, and they've gone through like Cosmopolitan magazine or whatever and answered the questions. He was like, yeah, you're definitely crushing on her. You know, he's touring around the school. She's like, look, chill, Sheldon. I don't want to take your limelight away from you here. What's it called now? Texas Tech or something? East Tex. She's like, I want to go to Harvard. You know what I mean? I want to go to Columbia. I want to go to these big schools, not some small one like this. Sheldon's took a little bit of offense to that. Like, why does she get to go all these great schools and I have to go here? Well, to be honest, you know, you chose to go there because you wanted to be closer to home. You've tried it staying away from your parents before when you stayed at Dr. Sturgis's. Didn't go well, did it? And to be honest, I was saying, would you rather be in a big fish in a small pond, i.e. in terms of, you know, go to an average school and you be the absolute star quarterback, or would you rather go to an absolute star-studded school and you just fit right in and nobody even notices you? I think I'd rather go to a small school and be the star-studded quarterback, to be honest, and that's kind of what Sheldon is there. So obviously Paige didn't choose that school. However, you know, it's an interesting episode and relationship between them. Also thought was interesting is Mary. She's going through a little bit of things. You know, she's ups and downs. She don't really know, like, how she's feeling about her parents. She went into, is it June's? I think that was her name. I forgot now. Into a hair salon. And basically, she contemplated getting a haircut a few times. Decided not to. Do you know what I mean? However, like, when she was at home and she was sewing, her hair got caught into the machine. And, you know, George has had to come and get her out of it, and basically it's kind of forcing her to get a haircut. We didn't see it last episode. We just seen her go there with her hair tied up in a hat, so it was keeping it a secret. And obviously we left the episode with her sat down waiting to get a haircut. So very interested to see if we change her appearance massively in today's episode or what. It's going to be good. Thanks for checking it out though. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
I never cared for surprises. My Meemaw, on the other hand, thought they were a hoot.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to surprise you.
Mission accomplished. Is everything going with your super collider?
Well, up until Wednesday at 6:43, wonderful.
Dr. Sturgis, what would you say to local residents who are concerned about the Super Collider's safety? Is there a chance that Waxahachie could be the next Chernobyl?
Absolutely not. The worst it could do would be to create a microscopic black hole.
And what would that do?
Could grow until it swallowed up the entire Earth.
Do you really think your super collider could make a black hole?
There is about a 1 in a trillion chance it could. It's time for something else.
Like what?
Maybe scrimshaw? That's carving art into whalebone?
Oh, come on. You're a scientist. This is just silly. The Texan in me wants to say get back on the horse, but I won't.
You know, would that be classed as unfair dismissal? Like, in the UK, we have a thing called unfair dismissal. So, for example, you can't get sacked from your job unless you are proven to be bad at it. Like, somebody can't just come in now. Like, you can't walk into work and then your boss come to you and say, right, you're sacked, you're fired. You know, we no longer need you. It can't happen. Like, it's against the law. It's unfair dismissal. However, yeah, okay, you could say he's shed them into a bad light. However, if he's speaking a fact, then is that totally different? If he's a scientist and someone's asked a fact, it's like, what can this Super Hadron Collider do? You know, if it's not going to blow up, what's the worst that could happen? It's like, well, the worst that could happen, 1 in a trillion, yeah, is that it creates a little black hole that eventually goes massive and just sucks the whole world in. But, you know, that's very highly unlikely. But, you know, there's 1 in a trillion chance that would happen. You know, it's just a fact. Yeah, he's sacked. Why? Because you told the truth. okay. Do you know what I mean? I don't really get it. I mean, I understand it from his point of view. It kind of reminds me when Leonard, went and done that interview on the radio, and he was like, yeah, we thought the world was changing with this Super Hadron Collider, and 20 years later, jack shit's happened. You know what I mean? It was kind of like shedding a bad thing onto science, but he was just telling facts as well. But he did get punished in that one. Well, from his university's his work, because basically, they was like, well, why would people invest in science if you're trying to just tell them negative stuff all the time? What a bit of positivity going out there.
It'll be great to have him back at the university.
Actually, doesn't sound like he's going back. You'll be old one day too, pal.
I already don't like new things. Bring it on.
The panic about the super collider.
They say there's no such thing as bad publicity. Quote from P.T. Barnum.
I don't care. He left me in the lurch.
And this is your chance to be the bigger person.
I don't want to be the bigger person. I'll be the small, petty person. That's way more fun. Hey, Dr. Sturgis, we'd love to have you back here.
You don't want
What
to.
do you mean, other job?
I'm figuring things out. I'm a bag boy. Although, at my age, boy is pushing it.
Sheldon would love to see you.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Clean up on aisle 2.
That's me. Madge, can you finish up here? I have a date with a mop.
Thanks for inviting John to dinner tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. Actually did a really nice job. He put the heavy things on the bottom. He kept the cold things together.
Mary. Up. Science. He's working at the grocery store.
At least he didn't give up being weird. Great to see you too.
And Mary, I believe I recognize these tater tots from when I packed them in your bag.
Right, if you was Dale, would you be kind of upset, mad, or whatever, frustrated with Connie that, like, she's spending time, well, not spending time with it, well, she is, but he's obviously at the Cooper's house and she's there, but, like, it's the fact that he's back and you're having big family dinners together and you've not told him. You know what I mean? I can kind of understand. I'm all for she had to be with John, to be honest. He's grew on me and I actually like him. He's always upbeat. He's quite funny. And Dale's like a grumpy old man, but, like, she's dating Dale, and just look at it from a perspective of just reality. If your girlfriend, you found out your girlfriend was having meals with her ex-boyfriend, that with your family, you'd be like, what the F's going on? You know what I mean? So I would get his point of view, but it's not out of maliciousness. It's just about last time it was a bit of a spiral, wasn't it? You know what I mean? He was on top of the building, the rooftop, doing I don't know, doing yoga or whatever you want to call it, before he had a little episode. So just want to make sure everything's kind of stable, don't they?
Just out of curiosity, would you say I look 21?
I suppose.
And what nights do you work again?
Not selling you beef. Well, it was time this old horse was put out to pasture.
Don't say that. You're not old.
He's not?
No.
But look at his bald
Eat your piece.
Still too old to be bagging groceries.
I know it's unorthodox, but I'm enjoying it.
Information is still coming in, but a black hole has been detected in Waxahachie, Texas. Pete, this is an emergency situation.
John, what do we do?
There's nothing we can do.
We need to pray right now.
You do that, I'm having a beer.
Oh, everybody.
She's letting him have one.
I don't want to spend my last moments on Earth praying.
You have made me a very proud father.
I'm not ready. There's so many things I want to do.
Well, you better pick one right now.
Okay, what would happen if there was a black hole?
One of the possibilities.
Are they all such a bummer?
Not necessarily. There's a theory that an event like that could open a wormhole into an alternate universe.
We even know it?
Probably not.
That's a good question, that.
Normal as boots on a cowboy.
That is wild.
I'm the only normal one in this family. If you're the only normal one, statistically speaking, you're abnormal.
Freak.
The only thing I need for emotional support is a warm shotgun and a cold beer.
This guy knows how to party.
I'm happy doing what I'm doing right now.
I don't believe that.
Excuse me. You know more about how I should live my life than I do?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to push, but I worry about you.
If I could live in an alternate universe,
He go back to her.
I'd live in one where we never broke up.
Because I wish it too.
John,
Huh?
if you could live in an alternate universe, what would it be?
Well, I haven't really given it any thought.
To be fair, he caused that downfall of their relationship. He unnecessarily broke up with her because of his, would you say, fear of having another episode, basically. And at the time I was like, yeah, but that's ridiculous in terms of breaking up your relationship and your happiness on a what if. Do you know what I mean? Like, this episode could, you said it happened like once every 10 years or longer. You know what I mean? It may never happen again. However, just flipping it into his job side and he's a bag boy. One, I've got to say, well, bag boy or girl, I don't, like, that job is pointless. It's waste of money. It is a total waste of money. The person that's buying the groceries can bag it themselves. Stop being lazy. I don't know if you do that anymore in the US, but 100% not here in the UK. And to be honest, they scan your stuff that fast. You're just trying to fucking throw it in the basket so you can get away to the side to put it in your own bag. You ain't got time. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I think that's just a waste of a job, to be honest. A waste of a salary. You could put that money elsewhere. However, flipping it, if he's doing that bag stuff and he's happy, you know, well, what is the big deal with it? You know, life isn't all about money. It's about happiness. You know, you could have the most simple job and be happy. Billy, for example, I've said it all the time throughout the show and I'm consistent and I don't lie, is that I would rather my kid be as simple and happy as him than a stressful bully or whatever's like going on. Like, the kid's happy. You know, he's just playing with his chickens or doing something simple. He's happy. That would make me happy. If I had a job, yeah, that I was bagging groceries and I loved it and I was happy, then great. Yeah, if that was all my kid was doing, love it. If he was happy, go for it. You know what I'm saying? However, they can't say, oh, you got a PhD, you're the smartest person in the room, and you waste it. Mate, the guy's 70 odd. He's not wasted his PhD. He smashed it for probably 20, 30, 40 years using it. Now he's just doing something simple and chill to pass his time and keep him active and happy. And, like, I don't see the big issue in it.
Anyway, ordinarily the particles would collide and destroy each other.
But in this instance, they could exist simultaneously.
If I was standing at the event horizon, I could interact with my own twin. We add the information entropy, we'll get the result we're looking for. That's brilliant. I had a feeling you'd like it. Like you're better than me, we're exactly the same. I don't appreciate your condescending tone. This is ridiculous. Are you done?
Not even close. Then Sheldon 1 grabbed Sheldon 2.
Are you okay? I am now.
Okay, enough. That's how you participate.
You doing okay?
Well, getting fired was tough, but I'm glad to be back here in town.
Oh, good. I worry about you.
That means a lot. Guess I'll be seeing you next time you go shopping.
I'll look forward to it.
We often regret the things we don't say. There's a lot of things I wish I had said to my dad while he was around. That I appreciated him, which is why I'm grateful for the times I did tell him how I felt.
Tonight was fun.
Yeah, why is that?
Dr. Sturgis was here. Everybody talked about science.
It was.
How are you?
You got ID?
Yeah, 21. I swear. You can ask Dr. Sturgis.
Who?
The old guy over there.
Hey!
Never mind.
Right, I've got to say, when people stack those shells or whatever's, they look decent, but like, what is the point? Like, one person buying a product and then it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, when I went to Orlando, right, I went into the Walmart and they had the Coca-Colas, they had the black cans. Well, yeah, I can't remember what the black cans are now, but they basically had cans of pop, like fizzy drinks or whatever's, soda, red and black, and they created a Mickey out of it, and it was decent, but it was like, mate, when people go over and just buy one, the Mickey's not there anymore. Like, whoever spent all their time doing it, it was great for a picture, or for the first look at it, but then 10 minutes later it's gone, it's wasted. You know what I'm saying? Like, him building all this big tower, this big triangle, or whatever it is, with all the soda cans, yeah, it takes like 3 customers to come over and it doesn't look the same anymore. Or a little nudge like that and it falls off and it's all wasted. You know what I mean? So, I kind of get it, but it's kind of pointless. However, you know, they were saying that you may regret the things that you don't say, but it's not the time and the place for him to say that you want to be with Connie again. It's just not, you know. He knows she's in a relationship with Dale, whether she's happy or not, it's not really said, but he knows that they're together, they're an item, and he's been gone for a while. You know, he shouldn't, and I personally believe this, even though I prefer him over Dale, he shouldn't have the right to go away for months to then come back and say I want to be with you and disrupt another relationship. It's unfair. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not the right thing to do. It's selfish, in my personal opinion. So, like, you can sit and have hope, you can sit and wonder, you can wait for your time. You know, when they break up or if something happens, you know, you can be there for her, you can just be a friend and let that connection grow again and just be present in the life to show that you do still care, you know what I'm saying, and then see where it gradually goes. But I don't think it was the right time, and like they said, you regret the things that you don't say. You might regret it, but he shouldn't be able to come back after disappearing for months to then throw a spanner or a grenade in there and potentially ruin a relationship, because it was his fault himself. Let's be honest, it was his fault, even though we like him, that his relationship with Connie didn't continue. He chose to break it off and chose to go there. So I'm happy he's back. I actually am happy he's back. I think he's decent. He's a perfect type of recurring characters, which, you know, I love a good recurring character. And he's been in it that much that at the end, like Stuart in The Big Bang Theory, you come to just enjoy Stuart for Stuart. And he had his own storylines, and he had his Denise and his store, and, you know, he was living in the Wolowitz's house, and he'd become a person that, like, if you watch 10 minutes of the show without Sheldon, you know, Amy, Bernadette or whatever, you would still enjoy Stuart. The same way as they built Dr. Sturgis up, that, like, I don't mind if I don't see Sheldon, George, Missy or whatever, Mary, because he's in there and he's got his own story going that has been decent. You know what I mean? So now he's back. I hope he's back anyway. I hope he could recur throughout the whole of the show, because he's a good side character, and the more the merrier on the screen, in my personal opinion, is what I like to see. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, what I thought was interesting is we ended last episode with this Mary situation, with having something wrong with her hair, and you know, we made kind of like a big deal, like, should she get it cut, should she not, salon, blah blah blah, and then she was forced into a situation where it was trapped underneath the sewing machine to then go to the salon. To end the episode there is the, ooh, what's she gonna look like, to open today's episode with, she looks exactly the same. Like, literally nothing had changed in it, like exactly the same. And you know what was interesting is when he was going around the table in this alternate reality, how people would look different. Obviously we had Georgie, instead of having these big, you know, fluffed up hair back home, they had Dr. Sturgis' granddad haircut, basically bald head and trim around the side, and he was dressed as a cowboy. Connie looked quite smart. She was all dressed up. She looked like she was a businesswoman. And you know, what's his name now, George, he was dressed up as well. He looked actually really, really good in a suit. You see him all the time kind of like in his polo and in his shorts, and, you know, he scrubs up well, he does. And it's the biggest one that looked massively different was Mary. You know, usually, like I said, you see her dressed as much. That's what I was saying last episode. It's the outfit changes. You could keep the same hair, but you change the clothes, you look a different person. You know what I'm saying? Instead of dressing always as like a mum who goes to church, because she does. I'm not saying that that's bad, but she put on a dress and she looked like she was 100% a different character. Obviously, her personality was different as well, but she was the biggest change. Honestly, she really, really was. And I was expecting a little bit of change in the episode just because of how we went with the last one. But, you know, it was still the same. And, you know, it was a good one in terms of John coming back. I know I said it a minute ago, and he's lost his job. And obviously now I would like to see a real life purpose progression, so to speak, because many people go through these kind of things in real life as well. It might not be a job, it might be situations where, like, you're doing something or something don't go well, and, you know, you find yourself in a sticky wicket, you know what I mean, and you're kind of down the dumps, and you got to claw your way back up. And it's nice to see, like, not like a redemption, but like, it's nice to see that when something don't go well, you can always go to it, put hard work in, and come out on the other side really, really well, and you know, and happy and enjoying yourself. And that's what I hope that happens to John. Obviously, you see in today's episode, he was enjoying engaging with everybody, but then when he was kind of on his own, he looked kind of a little bit down, a little bit sad. And then obviously when he's back with Connie, he was happy again. And you know, I'd like to see that build up and to show that, you know, when times go tough, it could go bad, and then obviously if you keep at it, it's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So I'm interested to see what we do with him and where we go. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you do, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.